Hello everyone, welcome back to Empress Link Up. I'm Jamelia.
I'm Alli.
I'm Georgia.
And today's topic is colorism.
Basically, colorism is, prejudice or discrimination that certain people of a certain color have. We're going to be talking about colorism within the black community, which is nothing new. It's not a new phenomenon. It's not something that, just came out of nowhere. It's something that has been happening since, enslavement. But yet, ironically, in our community, especially within our pro-black community, we don't really talk about it. We talk about white privilege a lot. We talk about, white supremacy and all of these things. But for some reason, we kind of ignore or push color to the side. Because since we're all black, which is the case, we are all black, whether we're light, dark, brown, yellow, whatever the color may be. So
I feel like it's something that, like you said, it's shunned. It's a topic that's shunned. It's almost taboo because people want to act like it doesn't exist.
Right.
But it's a real big underlying issue because we see people like saying, like there's memes all over social media.
Yeah.
Oh, in order of most independent, lighter to darker complexions. And I feel like being a woman that's closer to the darker side of, the spectrum, we're a lot of times treated as if we're at the bottom of a totem pole, or looked at as.
But I agree with you, but that's something just like Irene said comes from slavery days. Because you have the lighter black people or lighter skin tones, they were house slaves. They were in the house. We were taught that they were of somewhat better than us or looked better than us. And then you have the real dark or people that's highly melanated. They got to be out in the fields and doing all the real hard work. So that's something that's been like beat into our heads. And then I feel like one of the reasons why it's not talked about so much in the black community is because it's happening so much. People are not even aware of that. Just like marketing. Companies that market or that say they're pro-black, but yet still you only market a certain type of skin tone of black people.
Yeah.
So it can go, that's why I feel like we don't talk about it a lot, because it's still really happening.
It's a lot of subliminal.
Yeah.
I think people are uncomfortable, when talking about it. I have these discussions all the time, and from both ends, because colorism isn't only, well, for me, it's not only discrimination against dark skin, in a sense. That's what it is. The reality is darker skinned folks are treated differently.
Yeah.
But also, I mean, as a dark skinned woman, I speak about complexion on all ends. Light people.
But what I think is happening, I think things are changing a little bit, because now you have where people start praising darker women and saying, oh, now they're trying to turn it to where darker women are now the more, like, it's still prejudice, but on the flip
I was gonna say, because I feel like
it's not on social media, because there's this meme. There's this meme that's floating around that I read, and it said, oh, don't only like us dark skinned girls only on social media. Don't
if they have a certain physique and a certain hairstyle, then they're praised. Oh, look at that.
But in reality, is that the case?
Exactly.
But I mean, I still love it. I mean, we're starting out. We're getting there. We're getting there slowly. First, you need to see these images. You need to see black women of all complexions out there, and we definitely need to speak out about it more, and not just turn a blind eye and say, oh, well, we're all black. We are all black, but we still have these ignorant notions about skin color that really needs to be obliterated. I mean, it's 2016. We shouldn't even be talking about this.
Like, oh, you're so pretty for a dark skinned girl.
I wish someone would tell me that shit.
I've had that a lot of times, and I'm like, what does that mean? So dark skin means it's equal to not being beautiful, but I'm the exception. I don't want to hear that. So I'm like, that's not a compliment. That's actually, disrespectful. And they didn't see what was wrong with it because they got used to so many people accepting
people are doing it not even knowing
realizing it's a psychological thing.
Yeah. Because even as me growing up, I have a younger sister, and we look exactly alike, but they used to always refer to me as the light one or the red one.
Yeah, the red one.
Caribbean people.
Yeah, red skin.
And my sister was the dark one.
Right.
Yeah, so they used to always say, oh, Summer's the red one, and even though we look just alike, why we can't just both be black? You know, we just both black, but it's always this thing. But people are not even aware that they're doing it most times.
Or also in the Caribbean, they say the pretty skin one to refer to the light skin one. Now, a lot of people don't, you know, consciously, they're not aware that of what they're saying. It's just like a traditional, it's just like the black one and the black one versus the pretty skin one. But now a kid listening to that, a little dark skinned girl listening to that is already thinking that, oh, okay, so I'm gonna associate, you know, that skin color to being pretty, and this skin color is just, you know, just black. And so we have to be so careful about our words, you know, just because little ears are listening.
Yeah,
you know?
That's true.
Yeah, because I remember even when I started going to school and seeing more white kids and stuff, and I'm like, okay, my complexion is different, but it would be a matter of, oh, I would get treated differently because of hair texture in comparison to other people who are the same exact complexion as me.
Right.
So it's like there's always some type of bias or some exception to the bias. You know,
or if you're dark, maybe if you have like high cheekbones or a thin face, then it's like it's acceptable.
It's okay for you to be dark now.
Beautiful. Wow. I want to see more. I want to see a better representation of black women. Dark, light, brown, thin nose, flat nose, broad face, thin face, you know, coarse hair, curly hair. That's what I want to see. And until that happens, we really need to do a lot of work. Fix our community first, because these are issues that we just ignore. We just improvidently just ignore on a daily basis.
I feel like we don't want to address it because there's a lot of work to do. You know what I'm saying? It's like everybody knows that it's there, but it's just like, where do we start? Damn, I don't want all that work, but it has to be done, because when you look at generations to come and the children that are watching all of this, they're going to feel like, honestly, there's a lot of people don't realize, even in the teenage, you know, like that when you're growing up as a teenager, that affects your self-esteem. That could make you start wanting to pull away from people, you know, just wanting to isolate yourself, because if you're not seeing representations of someone that looks like you, especially on TV, the media, name it, then it's just like, oh wow, am I that different? And you're really, you're different, but it's not where it's like, okay, something to, you know, be looked at as, oh, you're different in a bad way. It's not negative, you know.
But I think what we can do to even get rid of colorism, I think it's not even colorism. I think we should get rid of anything that separates us as a people, because we have to understand that right now it's time for action. You get what I'm trying to say? And then the only way, because you have people that complain a lot about things that are wrong,
but
they don't do anything. They don't do anything about it. So it's like we don't really have the time to do that right now. We need to unite as a people. So colorism is a big part of it, where it doesn't matter what you are. We are black people. We created everything.
I mean, that's what makes us so beautiful.
We can
I see 3 different complexions. The lightest, you in the middle. That she's always like she's dark. I'm the darkest.
Bleaching. What do you guys feel about, like, this was big, you know, Jamaicans, Caribbean epidemic. What do you think about people wanting, because light skin or being a fairer tone was looked at as beautiful, what do you think about people bleaching?
I mean, that bleaching thing is just so paradoxical to me, especially this is not, it's not just a Jamaican phenomenon.
No,
clearly it's all over the world. Wherever colonialism happened, India, all of these places. But I feel like for certain countries like Jamaica, like Haiti, like Trinidad, that have such a big pro-black history and such a strong root, it's so ironic and it's so
astonishing to
see that
come from
that's the case.
It's like who like, how did that happen? If you guys were so, you know, like, proud of yourself, then now why is it all these people coming with this self-hatred? You know,
I was watching a documentary here on YouTube. This interviewer went to Jamaica, and she asked one of the ladies, you know, why do you bleach? And she said she thinks that black is beautiful, as in dark skin, black, browning, or you know, pretty skin, yellow is light skin, just for the folks who are Caribbean. And she was saying, yeah, you know, dark black is beautiful, but I bleach because for opportunities. Because the lighter you are in Jamaica most of the time, you have a greater chance of a opportunity.
Yeah.
And so that was striking to me because it wasn't as if she saw herself as just ugly.
She just
yeah.
She felt like the respect wasn't holding her back.
Yeah. So I mean there's different reasons why, but it all comes back to that self-hatred and that.
Okay, so what do we think can be done to change that though? Like, we know that colorism will always exist because even if not everyone speaks on it, we know that
people are doing it.
It's still in people's heads.
Here's
you can't
the thing.
control.
There's this documentary out there. Me not call the name because I'm not able them come sue me on YouTube. But there's this documentary that I really didn't like because I feel like that was something that they didn't really touch on. The whole solution is always love yourself, but no one says how. And I feel I mean my solution, because as a dark-skinned woman, I've never had any issues with my complexion. I've never seen myself as inferior. I've never cared about that. I always felt like if you're pretty, you're pretty. If your face look good, your face look good. It have nothing to do with complexion. So I think one of the reasons I'm the way I am is because from young, I was taught that I really just thought I was like a princess growing up.
Right? I got it. It's like,
you know, and I think that's the biggest solution. It comes from home. It comes socialization. It comes from your parents, your mothers, black mothers, teaching your children from
and the
young.
fathers.
Yes, and the fathers, of course.
So I just want to make it known that we have to be careful about what kind of toys or what media is entering your home as black people. Stop buying these white toys for your black daughters. There are resources now where they're making black dolls, get them black coloring books. You have to instill culture,
representation,
and tradition into
your home. That image.
You can't expect, you can't buy your daughter, because I see this toy all the time and I dislike it.
What?
You know, it's like the cap and it has like the weave at the back so you can pretend.
Oh, really?
And the weave is always like some blonde or yellow, because it comes from a certain show, right? I do not like to see African American little girls wear that because your hair would never look like that. Stop doing that to your daughters, even your sons. You know, certain representation. You have to make sure that they see what they are. So then we can eliminate them feeling inferior to what the media out there portrays, because you get it from home and you learn certain things from home.
Your artifacts, what you tell your kids, they grow up. You know, kids they're so innocent. They're not really thinking about certain things.
They're impressionable.
But yeah, they are impressionable. And so when you give them that black doll, you know, and even with the doll, I had white dolls growing up. I just didn't really think like, oh, you're more prettier than me. It was just a doll. But I feel as though your first doll that you give your daughter should be a black doll. She needs to see her reflection through these artifacts and these material things that, you know, are around her. And then maybe, you know, when she get older, she get all the dolls she want. Asian, this one here, this one. You know, I don't see nothing is wrong, you know, anything is wrong with it, but because there comes a point when you realize that, oh wait, there's a complexion, there's a world outside of, you know, my home. Trust me, when your child step outside and someone come up to them with that ignorant, oh, you're cute to be dark skinned, or you know, oh, you're not all that because you're dark, or oh, you know, they're gonna look at you like, excuse me?
Exactly.
Excuse me? That is the solution. That's I really believe that.
Everything
like that
starts
is the solution.
from home.
Everything start your kids from young. When they get older, nobody could tell them nothing. Really and truly, nobody. I'm not trying to come off no kind of way, but listen to me. Nobody could really tell me nothing about my complexion.
So basically, self-love, what we teach our children or teach the youth, and also the images that, by limiting certain images from the media or influences, and
just how we interact with each other
exactly.
too. Like, you're beautiful. We shouldn't even mention skin color. Like, you're just beautiful. You're beautiful.
Exactly.
The end.
But then again, in this society, we do have to, when speaking to other women of color, we do have to say, you're a beautiful black woman, because of the fact that, you know, she'll start to think like, okay, I'm a beautiful woman, but it always comes back to whose standards.
You would be so surprised how
I
many
don't think
people.
so though. Because I feel like us saying like, I'm not gonna come to our arena and be like, oh, you're a beautiful black woman.
Oh yeah, because
I'm just saying we're beautiful.
Know. Yeah.
We already know we all black. Because if you keep continuously saying
I'm saying in terms of speaking to the children and stuff, we do have to make that.
Oh,
known.
the children.
Oh
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, true.
It has to be known because of the fact that
especially
they're
when
not.
They go to school,
they're kind of blind to those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, exactly. They might go through culture shock. Like, wait, I'm the only black kid because I've gone through that too. When I moved to a different area, it was just like, okay, I'm one of the few black girls, but also it wasn't always us looking alike, we all look different. So it's like, okay, at the end of the day, you do have to say, no matter what your complexion is, like you said, it's
explain to everybody is that this show is a show where we really thought about doing this for the betterment of our people. This is something that we don't take really lightly. So some of the topics are going to be heavier than others, but it's only because we want to raise certain awareness with certain things and make sure that
we need to talk.
Yeah, we gotta discuss certain things. Communication is really key, and we're dead set on the fact that we need to build our people. People have to come together and drop certain divisions and certain things that's not going to really get us anywhere.
And in order for us to move forward, these are what we have. This is what we need to break past in order to move forward. If we can't, these are the breaking grounds. If we cannot get past this, we're gonna stay stuck.
Yeah,
honestly.
So this is the day and age where you see where we will say there is a revolution going on because you see a lot of people are waking up.
Oh yes.
But we got to continue the process, and we still have a lot of work to do. So this is one of the topics that we can easily divides us, and it's happening most times where we're not even conscious of the fact that we're doing it. Yeah. So this is not a topic we would, it gets kind of heavy.
Yeah.
But at the end, we just all want to unite. We're all black. We're all beautiful in our own way.
Sure.
Yeah. And that's what it's about.
So make sure you comment, people. Comment. Tell us what you think, your opinions, and enough love.
Thank you.
It's been Empress Link Up. Thank y'all.